There we go. Coming up on ECG, Wonder Woman, a smash hit.
The Dark Universe already on Dark Times.
Sony going all censored.
Bubsy's back.
All this and more coming up on the East Coast Geek Podcast. Welcome to episode 101 of the East Coast Geek Podcast for Saturday, June 10th, 2017, where we bring you all the latest news on comics, movies, and gaming. I'm your host, Jeremy, and with me, as always, is Opu. How you doing, buddy?
I like your background.
You like it?
I just noticed it. Yeah.
It has nothing to do with what we're doing in the show, and I'll have to do some work to make sure, yeah, it's a green screen. I was holding this out for the week. I've been using it on my personal YouTube channel, or Twitch channel, anyways. But yeah, I decided to pull it out for this, so I'll have to play with it a little more and get some other stuff. So, yeah, that's my new toy. It's just a piece of green cloth. So I cut you off. Sorry, Mitch.
No, I'm the one that brought up the green screen in Illidan there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. We're both tired. One, you were working a job, and me, I had a infant that did not want to go to sleep last night.
Oh no. Oh
yeah.
No. That's always terrible. Is she doing better now?
Is she better? Yeah, I gave her a shot of whiskey.
Oh, perfect. That's the answer.
Infants cannot handle their booze.
Right?
I'm telling you, worst drinking partners there are.
All right, so we both got Ark, and eventually we'll have to record some of that. I think we talked about that last week, right? We finally played. We played a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if we mentioned it last week.
Oh, okay.
Well, we can talk about it now because I actually almost know what I'm doing in it now.
Oh, great. Yeah, so we picked up Ark on a Steam sale for $13. You bought that one, right, with the Scorched Earth thing?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, that's pretty fun if you like being constantly run over by raptors and all kinds of other large dinosaurs and other creatures and bothered by the little ones. But definitely an interesting survival game, to say the least. I can't wait to actually get in there and actually stream some with you.
They've put in pooping too, by the way. The update the other day was the pooping update.
Oh, really? That was already in there. Yeah. I mean,
I know it said something about toilets or something in the.
Oh, then maybe they put toilets in then because you already pooped and you can use it as fertilizer for the plants. Oh
yeah, no, I haven't gotten that far yet, but I'm building a thatch mansion.
Is this in the server that we're gonna be playing on?
Yeah. Okay. I've been hanging out at one of the beaches and I just I was trying to get something put together for us, so I've been building a little thatch house. It's not much right now.
Awesome. Yeah, the first time I played it, I started out slow and made it a little one square building, and then I had to extend it because I needed a bed, and then I needed more storage, so I kept building up to the point where you saw it. So it ended up being by a 3x3 hut. So
mine's kind of like a snake right now because I started off. I was like, yeah, I built the one room, and then I was like, well, I don't know when the other guys are going to join, so if they found a place, then I don't want them to, just do without. So I started expanding it.
Right.
And I'm going to start adding some. I don't know if everybody can use sleeping bags, even though they're just for fast travel, I guess.
Fast travel, and if you save at it or you build it and you die, you will actually spawn at it. But I think it consumes that sleeping bag. So I don't know if as you build up, if you build a bed, it doesn't go away or something. So.
Okay. Well, I know you can take them with you too. So
okay.
You can move around as needed.
Okay.
But I've already claimed one of the beaches as mine.
Oh, okay.
So it's got a sign there, so you can't take it from me.
Nice. So the other thing we wanted to talk about before we get into the stuff is something that happened last night during the basketball game. They revealed the first teaser trailer for Black Panther.
Yeah, this kind of dropped on us last second, so...
Yeah. It's not a problem. I finally watched it this morning. I didn't see it during the game because I wasn't watching the game, but Looks great, incredible. I like during the interrogation they just want to rip, or he's just going on. I'm the only one that ever survived and got out of, and I'm the only one that's ever seen it and whatnot. So it was interesting.
First of all, I'm just glad Martin Freeman's in it. I love him.
Right.
Yes, I love him and everything. He's in Sherlock. He's in The Hobbit. I mean, how can you not love the guy? But yeah.
Josh, we were talking about Ark Survival Evolved. By the way.
That's right. Conan Exiles is where you get to have a wee-wee. That's right.
Yeah. We covered that.
Yeah. I kind of just forgot about it. I was upset because the Xbox version wasn't going to let you choose your dongle on it, but
oh no.
But yeah, this one you should start off totally naked. If you can poop, you should be able to have to pee.
Right. So anyway, so Black Panther looks like it's going to be a really good film. It looks exciting, especially when he tears up that convoy.
Yeah. When he kicks the thing and it flips. And,
and he does the stuff, cool. And it looks great. The movie looks great. Soundtrack sounds like it'll be fun, and I don't know. They haven't hinted anything at any special guests, crossover stuff, but
not like they've done with Spider-Man, where 90% of it's Tony Stark.
Right.
That's been frustrating, but they really don't need one. And obviously, this is taking place after Civil War because T'Challa is in charge. It seems like.
Is a character name a spoiler, by the way?
I mean, it depends on the character, I guess.
Okay, Zendaya's character in Spider-Man, they've released her full name.
Oh, well, go ahead and... I didn't bother clicking on that.
She's not Mary Jane. She's Michelle Toombs.
Oh.
So that'll add some interesting dynamic to the relationship, but that also came out this week, I think. I was surfing around and I saw that come up, so...
Well, that's like I said, I wasn't going to click on. I don't click on clickbait articles, even if it's something I want to know, just on principle. But here's one fun fact: that Black Panther's coming out the day that Fantastic Four 2 was supposed to come out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
From what I've read, yeah.
You know what else has an interesting release date? Go ahead and ask me when Aquaman comes out. Do you know?
When does Aquaman come out?
Aquaman comes out the same day as Star Wars Episode 8.
Oh, yeah.
Who doesn't want to make money?
Yeah. They have total faith in it.
They have time. They have time to change it.
Well,
that's all I gotta say.
They changed it once. They moved it from the animated Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
So, between an animated Spider-Man movie and Star Wars, which one would you choose if you had to put your movie date?
I would pick the animated Spider-Man movie.
I think I'd pick the animated Spider-Man too.
One of the shows I listened to made a good point. Most people aren't really familiar with the animated universes and the animated storylines, so they're not in the know, and this will come into play more with the Wonder Woman thing. But they're not. People aren't going to go see that en masse. The diehard fans will. I know Mitch is going to go see it. Thanks.
No, well, here's the thing. Is that there is no animated universe.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. I mean the animated films is what I meant.
There's no animated films.
What for
Marvel?
Well, for Marvel, yeah. I know,
DC, they've got a ton of.
That's why I said it'll come in more into play later when we talk about Wonder Woman, but because we're talking about Wonder Woman.
Right. Well, right now we're talking about Spider-Man. So the animated stuff, Marvel has. They had a crappy Doctor Strange movie. They had a crappy Iron Man movie. They had a crappy Avengers movie, animated. None of them were within canon of each other. The only one that was good was the Hulk Versus, because it had actual animation.
Right.
The characters look like they existed on the same plane as their backgrounds. You don't have... That was the thing that angered me the most about the Ultimate Avengers thing, was that, the animation... It blatantly looked 2D. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It didn't feel like a real world. But
well, maybe they're experimenting a little more because they've started doing well, not particularly Marvel, but within the Disney realm, you've got the Star Wars stuff that's been coming out. The Star Wars Rebels isn't like a flat 2D cartoon. It has depth to it, along the same lines as like the Clone Wars did.
Well, here's the thing about that is Disney owns Star Wars and Marvel, and the Clone War or the Rebels, Star Wars Rebels is doing pretty well animated wise.
It's doing well.
Why
very
do
well.
the Marvel animated shows suck? I just watched the teaser trailer for the new Spider-Man show they're going to put out, and the characters don't even have shading on them.
Maybe Disney's giving Marvel some latitude to start, but it'll start tightening the reins soon. Because if they're not performing where they need to, they're gonna cancel it, and they're gonna say you guys need to do something better. They will do it eventually. They're just giving them their latitude to start. But if they see the numbers, if they see and they say, look at what we're doing with Star Wars Rebels, why can't you guys do that? Star Wars Rebels is ending next year, I think.
If it hasn't already ended.
What about Guardians of the Galaxy, the cartoon? How's that doing? Have you watched any of that?
I haven't watched Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon, but I will say this. There are Groot and Rocket shorts, at least on YouTube, and they're actually pretty good.
Guardians of the Galaxy animated series, not cartoons. Cartoons are for children. I'm going to go ahead and say that it probably doesn't live up to standards. It looks alright. But they look like they don't belong in the background that they're standing in front of.
Yeah. So speaking of Guardians, I've got at least one more story in case Jeremy makes me rant or anything. So this girl tried to go see Guardians 2 last weekend. Did you see this?
Yes, I saw it.
Oh, how do you mess up that bad? She said the theaters were right next to each other.
Yeah, she went in to go see Guardians of the Galaxy. What she got was Aliens Covenant, and the little what did she call it? The little fox wasn't in it.
Yeah. She's like, I kept expecting little fox to come and save them.
Yeah. So that happened. Yeah, James Gunn just posted that within the past couple of days as a stop clickbait thing.
Yeah, earlier this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. What made me think of it is it popped up again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely need to put a more relevant background on here. Anyways,
but it looks so good, though.
It does look neat. That's actually the header from the Legion page. Somebody had it broken out, so I threw it up there. So it looks really neat. So anyways, why don't we move into the movies and TV, because we got a lot going on in here, especially this first thing where we may sacrifice some things towards the end. All right, sound good? Sounds good.
It sounds okay to me. How does the crew feel about it in the chat box?
It's already happening. Well, Josh likes my background, so that's good. All right. So the Dark Universe. We've talked about it before with the upcoming Mummy movie release, but we figured we'd dive into it a little bit more because the movie is coming out this weekend, right? This coming weekend?
It came out this weekend.
It's already out, okay.
Yeah.
So we can actually pull up numbers, too, because I didn't even look at that yet. But we're going to talk about that because they have announced that they've kind of announced it already. Like I said, we've talked about we called it the Monsterverse before, but it turns out Monsterverse is actually copyrighted by Warner Brothers Legendary for their Godzilla King Kong universe that they want to do. Here, let's put this thing in here.
Here's the thing about that frustrates me. Why is it called Monsterverse and not Kaijuverse?
Yeah, I would have expected that too, because they're all classified as kaiju because they are large monster-like creatures. But anyway, so before we even get to Dark Universe, that makes me worried. If they don't put that kind of effort into it, they're like, let's call it the Kaijuverse because it's kaijus. Just Monsterverse. They're monsters, man. Well,
big scary.
In their defense, because I was looking at the Dark Universe stuff, I started cross-referencing the Monsterverse stuff, and they actually have the rights for Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah. And they have plans for them coming up. And I think King Kong versus Godzilla is the 2020 movie release. Godzilla 2 being the next upcoming movie because we just had the King Kong movie.
Did you see King Kong?
No, I didn't see it.
I was wondering if like King Kong actually starred in the movie, or if he was just a guest star, like Godzilla was in his last one.
I mean, isn't that how it always is with these American films, right? How often did you see a kaiju in Pacific Rim, but you really wanted to see it more?
Well, the thing is, the kaiju weren't the star of it. It wasn't called Kaiju's Realm.
Yeah.
If it's a title character, Transformers does it too, where they hardly ever show up, and you got these just boring, tropey humans that are making these terrible jokes. I'm like, where's Optimus? I want to see Optimus.
Right. And the other thing too that I noticed looking through that MonsterVerse listing, nowhere did it mention Pacific Rim at all. So don't expect to see Jaegers anywhere in that universe unless maybe
they'll do Mechagodzilla. That can count.
Oh, Mechagodzilla. They don't have the rights for it yet. The only ones they've bought rights from the creator for yet are those 3. So, but anyways, okay. So the Dark Universe. So the Mummy's out. Reviews are not really good. Though I have heard one verbal review, and they said it was a good movie, but then he went to break down his scale, and good is below the middle line. It wasn't a great movie. It wasn't amazing. It was just good. It was a good movie. It felt good. Because the person realized what kind of movie it was, he was able to enjoy it without being too critical. Even though I'm sure there's some issues. Though I hear the who they have playing the Mummy.
It's MonsterVerse for us dumb Americans.
Yeah. Let's do this. Mummy box office. I get all my info from Box Office Mojo.
Well, while you're talking about that, it was initially estimated to be about $40 million for this weekend for the Mummy. Then I saw somewhere where they were saying that it was bumping down to $35 million. I know that Wonder Woman's beating it out.
Total as of June 9th, $12 million. However, let's get to that comment really quick. Behind the scenes, Universal execs are said to be especially concerned about the Mummy, even though insiders say a $40 million bow plus a strong overseas haul would be enough to get the universe to move forward. And here's where it's making money. $139 million overseas. In the first day, it has made $139 million, but it only made $12 million here in the U.S.
So what do you think that says about movies in general? Is it just that
Americans are harder to please?
I guess we've had the movie industry longer or whatever.
We're spoiled.
We're tired. Well, is it spoiled when you ask for a quality script, good effects, or I watched it. I paid $20 a ticket, and they say, "Okay, here's a pile of crap. Let me rub it in your face. It's better than nothing." No,
their production budget was $125 million for this movie.
Oh, so they've already
recouped it overseas, and they're now working in give a little more for advertisement, but
yeah. So there's so many budgets we don't see the reshoot cost. They never put that in there, all that stuff. So
right. Let's see, film.
So they're probably going to have to break at least $200 million.
I want to see, and they said Alex Kurtzman, who directed the movie, it's his first big production. Before that, I think he directed something small.
Well, we kind of bounced around here, but so the reviews I was looking at, they were not very kind. Basically, they did a gender swap. The Mummy is female in this movie, obviously, and she's after Tom Cruise, which is a cool idea. Nothing wrong with that. But she looks a lot like the Enchantress from Suicide Squad.
She might be better than the Enchantress, though.
And she has a lot of the same power set. Like, she seduces men or whatever and turns them into zombies.
Yeah.
I suppose she does a good performance, though, but
and
I'm just saying.
The actress's name is Sofia Boutella. I don't think she's done much that I recognize anyways. But Yeah, the reviews are mixed. She's from she's from Algeria. But she resides in the U.S. Yeah, she doesn't have much in the way. Oh, she was in The Kingsman. Interesting. I didn't really like that movie. But that's neither here nor there. Oh, she was Jayla in Star Trek Beyond. Was that the main female protagonist?
I don't know. I don't think. Did anybody watch Star Trek Beyond?
I did.
That got terrible reviews. Then you should be able to answer it.
I know. She's an alien scout. Yeah, she was the one. She did really good in Star Trek Beyond. So, from what I remember, I need to actually get a copy of it for my shelf, and maybe I'll get to watch it again. But, anyways, regardless, the reviews aren't great. I think Rotten Tomatoes sitting somewhere around 30%. Which I'll pull up as well. But yeah, I mean, and it's critical and audience, so that's an indicator for sure. Oh god, good god, 17.
Yeah, I was
17.
Say, if you saw 30, because I saw like 27 the other day or 25.
17% critic rating, 45% audience though. It's we'll see.
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't fully trust Rotten Tomatoes in general.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did read some of the reviews on there because it sucks, but it's one of the best places to get a bunch of reviews. Aside from certain Facebook pages I'm attached to, and I get this. Actually, I know these are actual regular people that are. Not paid shields or anything reviewing it.
So, what's your opinion on Tom Cruise?
First of all, I'm not that big of a fan of Tom Cruise as an actor, and
I heard he does a lot of running in this movie. By the way,
he does. You know what? Spoiler alert, people! Spoiler alert! Tom Cruise runs in this film. There's only one film I've seen him not run in, and that is Tropic Thunder.
Supposedly, there's a video out there that was done either by Rotten Tomatoes or by Fandango that shows all of his running montages from all of his career. He's really good at it, guys.
Yeah, well, he's short, he's annoying, he's not that good of an actor, but damn, can that man run?
Right?
So here's the thing. So, Tom Cruise's character, in some of the reviews I was reading, he's considered unappealing, boring, dense. There's nothing really. There's no real character or personality that the audience can invest in. Some of the most dangerous words that they say an audience member could say is, "I don't care what happens to these people."
Yeah,
you're always trying to avoid that. And first of all, what he does is he's like some military guy that steals artifacts.
Yeah, they're listed as soldiers of fortune. Him and his partner.
Yeah, So that's one thing right there that's going ahead. Oh, well, he's already a villain in a way from a certain perspective.
He's a modern day grave robber.
Yep. And here's another thing. Here's how I knew that they really didn't care about this film. They're just worried about setting up this franchise. Is that when they released the first trailer, it had no sound effects or nothing besides Tom Cruise grunting in it.
Right. Right.
And listen, I could understand like a small budget, like indie film, or whatever, doing something like that, or some romantic rom-com. But when this is supposed to be the cornerstone of your franchise universe,
see, now some of the articles say that some of the execs don't care how bad the Mummy does if it can get them through the door of setting up the rest of them, because they'll be able to get. I know, but regardless. They're assuming that later they can get a bigger budget to do the next movie and the next movie, which they have 5 planned, including the Mummy. Can I run through that list really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is where it's kind of like your comment is diametrically opposed against what they're trying to do with the universe. They don't care about Tom Cruise because he's going to be a minor part. I don't think Tom Cruise is gonna make it past this film. What they're worried about is the Mummy and how well she does, and the other main man in the movie who you hear in the voiceover in the trailers, which is Russell Crowe. Which, reading through the cast of characters, he is listed as Dr. Jekyll. And I found an article, and that's kind of a spoiler, because there's the next 4 movie titles are Bride of Frankenstein, which they don't have an actor for yet, but it releases on February 14th, 2019, and they're in talks that they want Angelina Jolie. But I think they want that figure. That's what one of the guys at work thought.
Then you know what they do? They go hire a body double like they did for Beowulf. That wasn't her figure.
Right. Dr. Jekyll, starring Russell Crowe, which means we're going to get to see Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Frankenstein's monster with Javier Bardem already attached to it of... what's the James Bond movie?
Skyfall?
No, not Skyfall. Was it Skyfall? Maybe it was Skyfall. I don't remember. It's either Skyfall or the one before that. Unless I'm misremembering. Royale? No, it's not Casino Royale. It's the one right after.
Spectrum? Was it Spectrum?
Oh, no, it was. You know what? It was Skyfall. My bad. Because Quantum of Solace dealt with somebody else again. Alright. No Country for Old Men as well was the other one he was in. He was really good in that movie. That movie is incredibly... I want to call it incredibly important for the type of movie that it was in the time period it was. But anyways, the final one is The Invisible Man starring Johnny Depp. And they already have these names attached. And like I said, the only one they don't have cast is The Bride of Frankenstein. So they're banking on this movie to pull in some money. And if it can do $40 million in the U.S., I mean, the overseas sales are obviously already doing well. I wonder where those places are. Maybe the UK. So I don't know.
Well. So here's my thing. So I'm not saying that they're focused on Tom Cruise as the face of this, even though he is the face of this movie, because he is the character. He's the protagonist. He's the one that the audience follows through the story. Protagonist doesn't always have to mean hero, obviously. They could have put it from the Mummy's perspective most of the time.
Well, I mean, technically, because of what's going on, it's his fault. So, he's kind of wrought this
I'm
situation.
just saying. I'm just explaining the basics of storytelling that these executives obviously don't care about, because they say that. Like, we don't care. It just needs to make just enough money so these other movies, which we absolutely totally care about for real, guys. Hey. So if you give us your money for this one terrible movie, then we'll make sure these other ones are at least mediocre.
We're going to do a studio association. Who else does that sound like? DC? DC Warner Brothers? They've already...
I was going to say Sony, Fox...
No. DC Warner Brothers is already on record from sources stating they don't give a crap if the movie is good or not. They just care about the money. He's had several gems. He does.
Talks right twice a day, Greg.
Hey, listen. If I can remember what kind of things Greg likes, I know he goes home every night and watches Top Gun because he loves that volleyball scene.
Here's the thing: Tom Cruise is a good actor. He just never does anything. He's always the same freaking character. He's always the running guy. He's a running Special Forces super commando, with the exception of Edge of Tomorrow, which he was an actor in that, or whatever the hell, propagandist actor.
Yeah, he was.
And Tropic Thunder. If he would do more character stuff, like in Tropic Thunder, yes, it shows that he's a good actor.
Oh yeah, that part was hilarious as hell. That was good.
Doing stupid stuff like that. That's why Johnny Depp gets cast in everything, because he can do all these weird characters. Tom Cruise is 99% of the time the running guy.
Right.
Why hasn't he been cast as in the remake of The Running Man yet?
He can pull it off.
It's not a perfect film for him. His magnum opus. They'll never make that movie accurate. All
right. Any other last thoughts on? This is the only VHS we had. Any other comments before we move on?
I do have one more comment.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the Dark Universe, and yes, because I wrote this down, I've got to say it, is that the monsters they're using, Frankenstein's monster, Invisible Man, Wolfman, Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy. These characters have shared a franchise crossover universe before.
Yeah.
Back in the black and white days, or whatever you want to say. So they've done it before.
So
they just can't do it right now.
And the other interesting thing is
way different, man.
The big thing with it is they don't have to pay any royalties to anybody. Those monsters all belong to public domain, so they have no rights to secure, other than using it now and creating that right intellectually with these movies. Because anybody can go make a Mummy movie. Yeah. There's nothing holding back because they are public domain. So somebody else needs to come out and make a better Mummy movie. Monsters of Rock, nice. All right, so it'll be a thing. We'll see what happens. I don't know if this will be enough, but with 139 million overseas in the first week is a substantial windfall for them for what they're looking for. So we'll see what happens. We'll monitor that closely.
I know we've got a bunch of stuff to cover, but real quick, so this could easily work as a franchise universe. Do you think they just let off with the wrong movie?
No, I think that they should have put more effort into it.
Well, besides that,
Thanks, Perry.
Aside, do you think that first of all, the comparisons between her and Enchantress, because Suicide Squad just came out last year, year before, it's still too fresh in people's minds. Maybe they should. Hey, what's up?
Oscar-winning Suicide Squad.
The Oscars means nothing anymore.
Oscar-winning for makeup for Harley Quinn.
So anyway, I lost my thought now. So, and they just released that Frankenstein movie a few years ago with Elijah Wood. Did anybody see that?
How
do you launch the same? Yeah, this is the second week for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? And I can understand what he's saying. I would have stayed 3 or 4. I would have stayed probably a month away from Wonder Woman.
That's like what we were saying with Aquaman versus Star Wars. Aquaman releasing on the same day as Star Wars Episode 8 is the most insane idea you could ever have. I don't know who at DC and Warner Brothers thinks that they can go toe-to-toe with a venerable giant that is carrying Star Wars.
I've said it before, and I've paraphrased from other people. Star Wars picks bigger franchises out of its teeth every morning than Aquaman.
It has a wider appeal.
Maybe a Superman movie would have stood a chance, or a Batman movie.
Huh.
A good one.
A galaxy far, far away, or some guy that can talk to fish. I'm gonna go see Star Wars. I'll see on DVD Aquaman. It's a terrible decision. All right, let's move on. We've bashed DC by way of the MonsterVerse enough. Wonder Woman released last week, and it's enjoying a great box office run so far. At the time I wrote down all this stuff, which was yesterday, it was $263 million. It's now $288 million as of today. Was updated. That's not bad. It's a great showing. It's reviewing very well.
Not dignifying that with a response.
For those of you that are listening at home, Perry just said Jeremy's become my favorite host, so I've gained some favor amongst the peoples. But anyway, so it's enjoying a good run, and it's reviewing favorably. Everybody likes that they actually used actual sunlight in the movie. Some people are complaining that there seems to be like 4 different plots going on, whether it's trying to set up future or whatnot, but sometimes is discombobulated and confusing. So, isn't the show's sub bash on DC? Sometimes.
We only when it's justified.
Yeah, Justice League. We'll see. It's been said more than once and not by me, which is amazing. Wonder Woman is the best Marvel movie that DC has made yet, which is hilarious. But with your comment, go ahead and say your comment.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, it's amazing what you can do when you take your inspiration from your rivals, right? Where you put together a coherent, at least a relatively coherent plot. You put some color in there. You actually have a little bit of personality in some of the characters. Sure, some of the biggest complaints I've seen is that one woman just stands there and looks pretty a lot, and there's good action scenes around her. Everybody else is acting around Gal Gadot, or however you pronounce her name. That's just what I've heard from people. Again, I haven't seen Wonder Woman yet because I can't go have fun anymore.
Supposedly, some of the story goes that this is really a really well done origin story for her. To the point where she doesn't realize what she is, even to a certain point at a certain part through the movie. Because she doesn't realize, like I said, what she is. Which is kind of a good thing. It's kind of like, what movie do I like that does that? It feels like, Full Metal Jacket's a good example of this type of movie, where you have this really short first part, the boot camp part, but it feels like that is like more than half of the movie, when in reality it's like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. And the rest of the movie's on the back end in Vietnam, which is pretty amazing considering the fact that, like I said, it feels like it's longer. So I think it
helps. They had one of the most iconic characters in film, the drill sergeant.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have one of the most iconic characters in the DC universe, right? Isn't she all that's good and pure?
She is considered one of the big three.
I mean, it's not like Superman. It's not like Superman's going to produce those kind of tent poles anymore. You know.
Well, maybe if they would bring back the heartwarming, caring Superman. It's like she acted like Superman in this movie, inspiring hope. From what I've heard.
You remember that thing I sent you this morning, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's great. It shows Martha to Superman saying, "You don't own this world anything." I don't remember what the second one was. It was another Superman thing, and then the last one was Clark sitting next to his dad, and his dad just says "F him." Hilarious.
That scene, if you remember, was when Clark was getting yelled at by his dad for saving a bunch of kids from drowning.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
like, "So what am I supposed to do about those kids? F him, Clark."
Yeah, that's exactly the feeling. So we won't get the goodness and purity out of Superman, apparently. I assume we're gonna see an evil Superman at some point, right? It'll be Batman versus Superman 2. I'm holding out for a sequel.
We've had evil Batman, we've had evil Superman at this point. So speaking of which, because DC doesn't understand anything about surprising your audience. Not that any studio knows this anymore, or they don't understand anything about keeping spoilers. They've started releasing images of Henry Cavill in his new Superman costume.
Who cares? Superman's dead.
Exactly.
He's not even going to be in the next movie, right?
Oh,
I mean, that's what the surprise is.
The surprise is he's still absolutely 100% dead.
Every now and then they're just going to cut to the coffin with the gravel vibrating over top of it, and that's all that's going to happen. The whole movie. They're like, "Superman, what do you think about that?" And it just cuts to the coffin, and then cuts back to Batman, and Batman continues on with his crazy plan.
It's just going to be, them flashing back to events and special moments they had with Superman that never took place.
Yeah. There ain't no coming back. That's the sad thing, because I was totally against Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and from everything I've seen since has made me change my mind, and I actually can't wait to see this movie whenever it comes out on DVD. Anyway, because I can't go out and have fun either. So anyways, so it's doing well. Let's do some Sony bashing. How about that?
Yay!
Go ahead. Hey, look at Sony Pictures.
Okay, so Sony, because they absolutely want to fail.
That's great. I know what that crystal is too. It'll be great. So Sony wants to censor its movies into cleaner versions. Is that like all of its movies? Do they go into detail? I mean,
So in a marketing move nobody particularly wanted or asked for, Sony has announced its plans to make the clean version initiative. Essentially, all that means is the studio is making available for download the censor and cut versions of films that are used for broadcast on television and airlines, with edits to remove violence, sexuality, and profanity. The clean version will not feature as a separate purchase, but will instead become available at no additional charge as one of the extras included in the versions of the film produced on iTunes, Vudu, and Fandango Now. The first 24 releases to be included in the scheme are 50 First Dates, Battle of the Year, Big Daddy, Captain Felix, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Easy A, Asylum, Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, Goosebumps, Grown Ups 2, Hancock, Inferno, Moneyball, Pixels,
Pixels?
Spider-Man.
Oh, God.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, and White House Down.
Wait a minute. So how much of Talladega Nights are we going to actually see?
15 minutes.
15 minutes. That is amazing. Ghostbusters 1 and 2 could be done. It's already been cut for TV anyways, because it was on Comedy Central plenty of time. Grown-ups, lots of sexual innuendos. Hancock, the drunk superhero, seriously. Moneyball could be done without the swearing. Pixels probably should have already not had most of that. Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. Well, there goes the Doc Ock fight scene, because too much violence.
Goosebumps was already PG.
Yeah. It's got to be G, damn it. G.
It was G?
No, I said it needs to be G, damn it. Step Brothers, yep, that's another one. You get about 15 minutes. You're going to get the part, did we just become best friends? And he's like, yep, and that's it. End scene.
So
what? They can't even sing the exit song for the movie. No boats and hoes in the clean version. They'll change it to boats and hobos or something and get in trouble for that.
Boats and Bible studies.
Boats and... let's see. You want to... Is this...
I'll keep going.
Yeah, go for it.
It's a bizarre selection which puts into question who exactly the clean version initiative is for, considering it's likely there are many young children clamoring to watch Jonah Hill's Oscar-nominated turn in Moneyball. Plus, films like Pixel and Goosebumps have already been pretty perfectly engineered for their target audience. Yeah, Pixels was perfectly engineered for the garbage. So
you just toss that in there. Yeah, it'll be done.
You buy it for $2 and you throw it directly in the toilet.
Right.
However, the move apparently has something to do with combating third-party services like ClearPlay and VidAngel, who have already been providing unauthorized edits of films to consumers and have faced numerous legal battles in the process. This is like cutting your nose to spite your face. So now you have to either procure the TV version, make sure you have that stored, of this film, then you have to... I don't know how iTunes works, if they have to pay them to hold it, or if Sony has to keep their own servers up and running. I don't know exactly what that thing is. But either way, it's costing somebody money for them to issue this clean version for free when somebody buys a movie for $5 digitally. So,
well, I mean, it's anything like Boats and Hopes. That's a good one. It's like what do you call it? Like a special feature kind of thing. Because when some of those movies they have the special features attached, you just get them for free. So I mean, standard, but that's high definition.
It's a whole nother movie on there now. Special features are usually like 15 minutes of extra bloopers,
but like
or a commentary audio
like
track.
Lots of them. I mean, a high definition Blu-ray copy equates to about 1.25 gigs to 1.5 gigs worth of space, so it's not really too much. And I mean, they're doing 24 films right now.
That's just the first 24.
Big Daddy's another one that's a question.
It doesn't matter if it just costs them a penny a day. It's still for what? Most people wait until the unrated versions are created.
Yeah, everybody loves Badder Santa. Yeah, it's a big question on why they want to do that. And I did comment, and I didn't know that it was up there higher. That I was like, don't all companies do this for TV runs anyways? I mean, but at the same time, I guess offer them if you really want them to see. But it's like, pick some better source material. Why would Big Daddy, Grown Ups 1 and 2. Oh, The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Does that mean we won't see Mary Jane fall to her death? Or not Mary Jane. No. What's her face? Who's the other one?
Who's the other one?
Who's the other one that Peter Parker? Yeah, Gwen Stacy. Yeah, that part sucked. And then that was the end of that series too. So disappointing. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. It's not really a great idea, I guess. Plus, they're creating jobs. Somebody's got to go through and edit that garbage.
Yeah, they're going to do like the if you ever watched the 4Kids anime.
It's going to be replaced with Uncle Ben's rice. No body, just Uncle Ben's rice in the shape of a body.
Uncle Ben, don't take a nap.
Great. All right.
Well, real quick. So unsurprisingly, this hasn't been particularly well received among movie fans, with many questioning as to what exactly is left of talent. Like we said, Talladega Nights or Elysium, after being so brutally censored. Seth Rogen even took to Twitter to beg, "Holy ass, please don't do this to our movies. Thanks."
Oh yeah. Hey, don't they own the rights to what's that?
Sausage Party?
No, Sausage Party. Jesus.
Pineapple Express.
What's the one where they went over and made fun of Kim Jong-un?
Interview.
The Interview. Yeah. Isn't that? Oh, that was released on Netflix, but was it Sony backed?
Yeah, because remember the Sony hack mentioned it.
Oh, that's right. And then everybody flipped the lid. All right, yeah. Let's make some smarter moves. I guess maybe we'll see Marvel get Spider-Man back sometime soon. Or maybe they're planning
everything they own.
Maybe they're planning a big windfall with Spider-Man that they can have the money to throw around and do that. All right, let's get to the games here. All right, this week the Pokemon event went off on Tuesday, I think.
It's great nappy time. Sorry, Greg, we gotta focus. This is professional business here. The Pokemon event happened like Wednesday, I think.
I think it was Tuesday. They announced Gold and Silver will be available on the eShop for the Nintendo Switch on September 22nd, which is interesting because it's a Game Boy game. You'd think that they'd make it available for the DS, but I didn't hear anything about it. They're just going to put it right on the... You're going to put a standard definition game on a high definition device. What will we do with the rest of that screen? They also announced Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for the 3DS on November 17th. I think it's come to the point where we need to skip every other game with Nintendo or with Pokemon, because it's a different storyline and it has new Pokemon that weren't in Sun and Moon. But how different is the storyline going to be? I mean, we saw the islands, right?
Well, did you finish Sun and Moon? Well, here's the thing: the Pokemon games have actually been, the story-wise, they've been pretty diverse overall. You know, the last ones, well, not the last ones, but with Black and White, the criminals there realized, hey, we got to get rid of Pokemon trainers because they always thwart evil bad guys' plans.
Right.
So they started convincing people. They started an animal rights movement, and were getting people to release their Pokemon so nobody would be able to fight them.
Genius. This is what's really going on, people.
How brilliant is that for real? And it's like it's basically making fun of the people that protest. Hey, Pokemon is animal fights or dog fighting or cockfighting or whatever you want to say. It's like, and they're like, don't see what happens when you have a universe that's controlled by magical animals.
Yeah.
Yes.
interesting idea. But I mean, it's kind of like when they did Black and White 1 and 2. It's just more. I only played. I think I played Black 2. So I didn't get the first story, but I don't feel like I was missing anything either. So.
Well, it depends on how different this storyline's going to be. Is it going to be a sequel or is it just a remake? They said remake, right? So.
No, they said it's going to have a different storyline.
Yeah, which is weird because, the Diamond and Pearl fans out there are just chomping at the bit because they've yet to release a remake of those two games.
Right.
So they're like, why is this getting a remake already or whatever? But I don't know. I'm probably going to be buying it because I really did enjoy Sun and Moon.
Well, it's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just that every time I'm off, Greg wants me to play Battlegrounds with him, so I don't get to play anything.
Well, how about whenever you die in that, you pop open your 3DS and you play a little bit while you're waiting to respawn, or you're watching Mr. Pinkhair run around and get shot at.
What's great is it's right here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you do. You have it there waiting to respond.
Yeah, but they expect me to call out stuff and whatever. Anyways, yeah, I'm making excuses. Anyways, so I don't know how I feel on it. I guess we'll have to see. It's kind of
right. It's all my fault.
It definitely is. I mean, I want to play other games, but I mean, I haven't played Rainbow Six in like weeks. I've played it here and there, but not consistently like I used to. Anyways, I don't know how I feel about it, and kind of, stingy by force on what I spend money on. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll be a Christmas gift again.
Did they release the release date for it?
Yeah. November
there.
17th. Yeah. September 22nd for Gold and Silver on the Switch, and November 17th for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. All right, let's go in and talk about your big story you want to talk about here.
Yeah, so this came out of nowhere. Nobody was expecting this. But Bubsy is returning after like 21 years of missing.
Wow.
Yes. Bubsy, the Woolly Strike Back is the 5th entry in the Bubsy franchise, developed by Accolade. The game was announced June 8, 2017, along with a teaser trailer, and is set for a PS4 and PC release.
Look at
the
that.
Release date... What's up?
No, I said look at that. You can play it on your PC.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking of right then. The release date is set for fall 2017, as stated by the trailer, but an accurate date is not known at this time. The game's title, The Woolly Strike Back, is a parody of Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strike Back.
That's pretty awesome.
The logo is even designed in a similar way to the Star Wars font.
Oh, yeah,
here's the thing. Bubsy is it's either cat puns or it's movie references usually.
Oh.
So, like, there was Bubsy in Forbidden Planet.
Mm-hmm. I remember some of the Bubsy titles, yeah.
Claws Encounter of the Furred Kind.
Yeah.
Claws for Alarm. All that kind of...
Claws for Alarm. Good one.
Yeah. Bubsy was notorious. It wasn't like hard as in like Dark Souls hard, where it was designed to be difficult. It was hard as in they didn't think it through.
Oh no, it was unintentionally difficult.
Yeah, through poor games, like the screen was very zoomed, like close up to the characters, but he ran at like Sonic the Hedgehog levels. So when you can't see what's far enough in front of you, either you're moving at a snail's pace, or you're going to blind through and hit something that causes damage. Now, in a game like Sonic, where you drop rings and you can gather the rings quick enough, it's not a big deal. But when you're a one-hit wonder like Bubsy was in those games, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And everything was trying to kill you in those games. Even things that look like checkpoints were trying to kill you. And as a platformer, it did have something very close to fall damage if it absolutely wasn't fall damage. So it was a very frustrating game. It looked good, especially the 2D version ones. The 3D one did not look good.
Right.
And another weird thing is they gave him a gliding ability. How many bobcats do you know can glide?
Yeah, Bubsy.
Yep, all those wild bobcats in the world gliding. But so if they learn from those mistakes from the past, and with this being 3D good luck on that one because it pretty much, I bet you I haven't never been to a game design workshop or anything, but I'm pretty sure they just hand out copies of Bubsy 3D and say, okay,
here's
put
what not
this in,
to do.
see what this is, you see that on the screen? Okay, don't do that.
Great. All right.
So, but I absolutely wish them luck. I love old IPs like this, the nostalgia factor and stuff. I'd absolutely love to see it actually succeed by being a good game. And we'll just have to wait and see on that.
Meanwhile, Blizzard's trying to make their games better. They have announced that Overwatch competitive play will move to ban repetitive levers from matches permanently. I feel like that's a little extreme, but that means that their current banning policy isn't doing what they want it to do. And the repetitive levers, what that means is people that quit out of a match because they're going to lose it, or because they don't have what they quantify as a good team, which is even worse for the team that they leave because they now only have, they have one less player than the other team and now have to try and duke it out and try and pull off a miracle at that point. Just one player makes a difference in that game most of the time. I don't know how I feel about the stronger ban policy. But like I said, I don't know what the current one is, whether it's just a couple of games or a couple of hours or whatever to start.
It's not extreme. Those people are the worst, Sloth says.
It does.
My only question is, how do they decide that? Is it repeated leaving at 5 matches in a row? Or do they...
I think they're going to start doing
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think they're going to start doing a quantitative look and say, this guy is leaving every other match because he's not with players that he deems his level. And that's a problem.
Don't they already have a leveling system in that?
They do.
A ranking?
They do. They use matchmaking rank, or MMR, I think is what matchmaking rank is. But... Or matchmaking rating or whatever.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
My thing with these bans on levers, I'm always worried because I remember. Well, I know that sometimes my connection's not always the best, and because I've been booted for many times.
Yeah, well, and that was the other thing gets called into question because lots of people have server connection issues where they get dumped every other game. They're not actually leaving; they're getting dumped by the server. So there's got to be a way to find out how that disconnection works as well. And Joshua Sly here. He's probably a Hanzo main, by the way. He'll probably curse. His next thing, the next thing that comes out of his mouth will probably be a curse word in my direction. Anyways, so yeah, if it fits, then it should be that way. But I think that if they aren't considering
that's even worse than Hanzo. I bet you're one of those jerks that puts freeze walls up when I'm playing Mercy and I can't get to the team to heal them.
Mei is pure cancer in a cute little character. Anyways, I think the punishment should fit the crime, but I think they need to make sure they consider the involuntary disconnections. It happens with online games. It's going to happen.
I wonder if they have a if they do their research, they'll be able to see, okay, this person lost connection as opposed to went to the options to quit the match or leave the match or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, they might not be able to track down your bandwidth and your ping rate and all that that technical gobbledygook, but they should be able to check somehow. Right. I don't know, based off responses to the server on what options you're selecting.
Right.
I mean, if they're going to want to ban people like this, and you got to make sure you don't punish the ones that are doing their best.
And we won't hear anything from Blizzard for E3 because they do their own thing, which is kind of cool. Though we might see... Nah, they won't do it. Morheim already did the stage thing with Destiny 2. So we won't see any Blizzard presence. Maybe a booth or something, but no presentation. They won't be part of anything. Activision doesn't have a main presentation, which means they'll be built into the Microsoft and Sony presentations. Call of Duty will get pushed on PlayStation because PlayStation pays for that. I'm sure there'll be something that they talk about for Xbox, but we'll see. But anyways, we'll move on to that last thing here. E3 is this weekend and is upon us. This afternoon, the EA portion was on there, and I watched it. I don't think we're going to do a coverage of it. We could probably skip that one of EA. If anything, maybe when I get home from work tomorrow, we can do one. We can sit and we can watch the Microsoft one together and do a live commentary of that, because that one should be good, because you're going to get Scorpio, whatever individual developers decide to throw in there as well. But like, you probably won't get anything from Bethesda. You won't get anything from Ubisoft because they still have conferences coming. So any of the other developers like Activision, or publishers like Activision, we'll probably get that during this stuff. Yeah, you showed up right at the end here. We're just wrapping up here with the E3 stuff. So Microsoft is tomorrow at 2 p.m., so it means it should be done right around the time I get home. So we can queue it up and still do it, and it'll still kind of be fresh. So you get to see our shining faces if Mitch, you want to do that.
I absolutely will try.
And tomorrow night, I will probably be staying up till midnight to do the, what's it called? The Bethesda one. Because I have a feeling they're going to release, they're going to announce something big. I know they've got something with Wolfenstein coming up. Their third title in the series, by the way, since they've revived that series. Possibly an Elder Scrolls announcement. Possibly.
It feels like they're about due for it.
It's about time. It's been, how long? A couple of years since Fallout? They're on like a 4 to 5 year schedule, alternating with those two.
Yeah.
So it's about time, though. There has been rumors swirling around that we should see something for Fallout 4 VR, which can't wait with my Vive. But they also stated that, there's also rumors out there swirling that we may see Skyrim VR right after Fallout 4 VR.
No, that would be cool.
That would be really neat. I want to stand underneath these dragons flying around. That would be so awesome. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But you've got to put in the mod for the Macho Man dragon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was horrifying.
So Devolver Digital will follow after them. I don't know. I don't really know who that is.
Yeah, that's a new one to me.
Devolver Digital, pick your poison games. Let's see what they do. Let's open up the Wikipedia. It'll be faster. Hotline Miami. Oh, they do all the little things. Serious Sam. They're the publisher for Serious Sam. And Hotline Miami, which was a somewhat independent game.
I know.
Yeah, they're doing indie now.
I know Serious Sam, but
Shadow Warriors 2 this year. They've got lists for more Serious Sam and some other stuff, but I don't know. I'd probably say we could probably skip that one too, but I'll try and figure out. Maybe I'll pull in Scott and we'll do the Ubisoft one on Monday afternoon, and then the Sony one is going to be at like 9 or 10 o'clock on Monday night, and then Nintendo at 9 a.m. on Tuesday Pacific, so about noonish here in the East Coast. So we'll figure something out. We'll have some coverage, some live coverage. If we do it, I'll make sure I do. I'll make sure I put it out there in the universe. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for this week. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think I've got anything really else to say.
No more on Bubsy.
No more on Bubsy. I don't know if I can handle those amount of puns anymore.
That's fine.
I hope they dial back the fourth wall breaks too.
Right? Oh, there you go. Oh, you don't want more Deadpool?
Well, there's a certain way to do them, and he didn't do them
well.
He didn't do them very well.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, and thanks to those of you who joined us on the live stream. We really appreciate it. It's great to see you guys, and great to interact with you. Please leave us feedback on our episodes on iTunes, Google Play Music, and anywhere else you can get our podcast from, as it helps with the visibility for others to discover us. And please like, share, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube. Go ahead.
You can describe us too.
Yeah, you can describe us if you want to. We'd love the reviews. Go ahead, your part.
Okay, since we're just whatever. You can contact us at ECG_podcast on Twitter and our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/ECGpodcast, or our email address at ECGpodcast@gmail.com. Also visit us at our webpage, www.stasisgeek.com. That's STASISGEEK.com. Or like Jeremy said, post a comment and describe us in it. And I want masculine and sexy to be two of the words that you use to describe me.
Great. All right, we will be back next week. This week. Next week.
Next week. It's Saturday, bro.
No, yeah, I forgot. Next week.
Yeah,
we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it on Friday night. I got some things I need to do that next weekend, so we're gonna make sure we push it out Friday night. So be here, probably 7, 8, depending on what time Opu gets his dinner. But we'll blast it out to the world that we're starting when it's time to go. And make sure, like you said, follow us on Facebook. I put out a warning right before we get ready to start the show. So if you've got it on there, or if you're subscribed to us and you've got the notifications on, you'll see it on there. Like I said, we'll be back next week. Until then, stay geeky. Hey, he called you masochistic and a
I saw that.
I got it put in audio again.